Hoy, chummers! Just wanted to take a moment and let you know about our Patreon. While we release episodes of Shadowrunnin on Empty every single week, we actually have a backlog of about 4 episodes at any given time, just to give us a little cushion in case we can't record on our schedule for whatever reason. You know, like holidays or bug spirits. If you're interested in getting access to the episodes early, as well as a bunch of other benefits like artwork for the show, news on changes or rollouts, and sneak peeks at other things coming up, 5 new yen a month over on patreon.com/critical_hits gets you full access to all of the bells and whistles. You can even get a shout out for your support at the end of every single episode of Sinless as well. So if you enjoy the podcast and you'd like to support our work as well as get tons of bonus perks, that's the best way to do it. Thanks for your time, and let's get back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Shadowrunnin on Empty, and today we're getting into the seedy underbelly of the Sixth World, or at least a part affiliated with it. It should be an interesting discussion. Joined with us as always, we have Dear Tyler. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. I'm ready to talk about the seedy underbelly. And speaking of criminal masterminds, Easy, are you ready to fill up the tank?
I'm always ready to give you delicious, crunchy lore knowledge.
Ooh, take me to dinner first.
Or maybe you'll sleep with the fishes.
Oh, no, I don't go that way, man. We went to zero to pervert real quick.
We talked about that last episode. We don't do that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like Austin's thing. He likes to taste the fish. You know what I'm saying?
Only if you're growing a fishtail like a mermaid, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, under the sea.
Oh God. So if I like fish sticks,
I just like fish sticks. Okay,
yeah, it's totally normal, you guys.
Right.
Anyway, as we mentioned, we're talking about the seedy underbelly of the Sixth World. And I know if you've been keeping up and watching the Sinless episodes that these two fine gentlemen are a part of, then you would know that we have had some dealings with the Yakuza.
Dealings is one thing.
And that is who we will be taking a closer look at in today's lore podcast. We'll be diving into the Yakuza and the Sixth World.
As far as like gangs in the Sixth World, in the top 5 most deadliest gangs in the world, where does the Yakuza sit, would you say?
Well, I wouldn't classify them as a gang anymore in the Sixth World. They are an actual organized crime. Like they're up there with the mafia. They're not just like a street gang that you would run into.
Then I guess in case of using the word gang, how about just like crime associations? Organizations. Put you on the spot.
You are putting me on the spot. I'd rate them moderate. They're not the most destructive. Yeah, they're not the most destructive. They actually kind of want to help out their neighborhoods.
I was going to say, that's kind of Yakuza right now.
You say organized crime, and I say like-minded individuals who are working for the betterment of their community.
Oh, see? Well, there you go. It's all in how you look at it. So I guess the best place to start for the uninitiated, what is the Yakuza? Well, the Yakuza is an organization that is built on ancient traditions reaching all the way back to ancient Japan. Though the interpretation of traditions has changed over the years as opposed to the old ways, the Yakuza has found ways to change with the times and keep up with the oddity that is the Sixth World.
Adapt.
Some of these customs, such as honor, loyalty, and protecting the populace, are admirable traditions and strengthen the organization. However, other traditions, such as distrust and prejudice against foreigners, metahumans, women, and magic, have severely hindered the Yakuza in the Sixth World. All of this has led to the modern Yakuza. On one side, you have the traditionalists who fiercely cling to the old ways and view as heresy any talk of changing or abandoning those traditions. And then on the other side are the reformers who want to strengthen or resurrect the Yakuza's traditions of honor and service to the community while cultivating a more modern, open attitude toward women, metahumans, and magic.
Aren't these like kind of mirroring? I mean, I don't want to. We don't have to get into it too much, but like, aren't these kind of mirroring current Japanese political perspectives? Or am I misremembering? Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah. You have the traditionalist way of the imperial outlook of Japan, where they have regressed back to we're imperialists, so we're going to conquer a bunch of area, and we're highly xenophobic, to the modernists that are starting to make headway in the Japanese political theater during this time, where you'll see some revisions to the laws of wanting to ban metahumanity from the greater island of Japan, mistreat them, view any outsiders as potential threats. You see a more welcoming side wanting to try to take over and make headway. They see it that you have to adapt to this new and ever-changing Sixth World, or you're just going to get left behind.
Now, this is in regards to the Yakuza or the Japanese government?
Both, actually.
Oh,
they
okay.
mirror each other quite well, which is interesting.
Yeah, because when you're talking about like politics and the Yakuza, I was wondering if any, like, how much political sway do they have, and if they do, are they like a front-facing party?
Well, again, that is back and forth, split between the traditionalists and the new wave. So you have the traditionalists and the reformers, and each of them has their own backing from the different Japanese mega corporations. Because remember, even those are split on how to handle things.
Mm.
So early Yakuza also originally had this idea of a justice for hire service for the populace. If someone believed he'd been wronged by another, he could take his case to the local Oyabon, the head of a local Yakuza family, and ask for help. If the Oyabon decided that the cause had merit, he'd send soldiers out to, quote, exact justice from the wrongdoer. In exchange,
Frontier justice for hire.
Basically, the nature of that justice depended on the wrong committed. In exchange, the Yakuza would charge the wrong party a fee based on his ability to pay, usually a percentage of any penalty recovered from the wrongdoer. And traditionally, this reached up even unto the noble class at the time. And in turn, the nobles would sometimes come to the Yakuza to exact revenge as well, without getting their own hands dirty. And of course, this practice does translate into the Sixth World as well. Even in North America, some Yakuza still perform this kind of justice for hire service. Of course, tracking your local Oyabon might be more difficult. However, a few Yakuza are attempting to restore the justice for hire practice in its true form. For example, in Newark, under the guidance of the great reformer Okaido Hanjiwari and his new way, he's adopted all of Sector 6 of the Newark Metroplex as his prefecture and protects the people of that area against random violence and against outsiders seeking to commit criminal acts.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, especially since it's coming from a reformer, so you can expect to have them look at metahumanity as someone that needs to be protected as long as you're
Yeah.
from and living that sector, or if you practice magic. The Yakuza operations in North America continue to grow at a steady pace throughout the early part of the 21st century. The greatest acquisition for Yakuza in America came in 2036 when Japanese troops occupied San Francisco. That's where General Saito comes in.
Okay.
The occupation gave the Yakuza a secure base of operations in North America. And of course, this allows them to expand up and down the West Coast. If you're unfamiliar with how the Yakuza orchestrate themselves, you have their organization. Their organization is based on two ancient concepts: the Oyuban relationship and the Gumi or Rengo. The Oyuban is the head of the clan. Think of them as the father figure who uses their wisdom and insight and power to rule and guide the Kobun under his command.
Kobun being
Is someone who has sworn loyalty to the Oyuban. The Kobun becomes the loyal vassal or adopted child in return for their total loyalty and dedication. The Gumi is a Yakuza clan or syndicate. Gumi may range in size from a few dozen members to as many as 1,000 members. Every Yakuza Gumi is organized like a corporation, with the Gumi's Oyuban as head honcho. Directly below the Oyuban, you have the Wakagashiri, the second in command. Then you have the next level of advisors, known as the Koman, the counselors, the Shingin, the secretaries, the Hisho, the accountants, the Kaliki, and then it separates down from there.
so when you're talking about this being wider spread in California, correct?
Mhm.
California Free States. Like
Yeah.
at this point, because you said the Yakuza are a like growing power in the 21st century, is it
Mhm.
is it by surprise that the Yakuza are doing all the stuff they're doing in Free States? Or is it like, hey, we're here now. We want everyone to know that we're going to take this place.
Well, originally, when the plans were drawn up to send the Japanese Imperial Army over to North America to gain a foothold, a lot of this was backed by Yakuza Gumi, who really like the idea because that's whole new territory to acquire. So with the political influence and everything that they had gained throughout the years, they pushed for this idea so they could send members over to set up a whole new Gumi based in North America, and started with the invasion there of Sacramento and then slowly begins to branch out over the years so that you have many different Oyobans up and down the West Coast. However, as time goes on, you see a split happen here. Because originally it was the traditionalists of the Yakuza that came over with General Saito to establish themselves in North America. And then as they remained there and new Oyobans were put in place, this new wave movement starts where they disagree with the traditionalists back home in Japan, and they don't think that they should have to give them any kind of cut of their business.
Wait, it's like a California Tea Party situation?
I guess you could say that.
That's the parallel that comes to mind.
Yeah, the new guard are not wanting to kowtow to the old guard that has been around for a while and originally was there to establish them, and now they feel like since they've established themselves pretty securely in North America across metroplexes, that they don't need to listen to the old Gumi of Japan, and they can just start to do what they want.
That's pretty arrogant.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, the new wave is seeing much more recruitment because they're not shunning metahumanity.
Actually, that's fair.
So they're growing in number a little faster with recruits because they're not turning away metahumanity like the traditionalist Japanese are.
Okay, actually, so it is more of a we got this far with your help and with your training, but your way is not going to last very long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At first I saw it as like, thanks for the military training, lol. Anyway, we're gonna start our own no.
We're gonna do what we want now. Thanks anyway.
Yeah. I'm turning off my phone now.
I don't need to receive your text, Mom. The major rackets that the Yakuza are involved in over in North America, you have the prostitution racket, the gambling racket, another thing, it's called Sokoyaki. It's supposed to translate into shareholders meeting man. It's the Japanese term for professionals who shake down companies. The Yakuza will typically target small corporations owned and run by Japanese for credit and influence. They traditionally only operated in Japan, but during the past decade, they have moved over into the North American market, largely in Seattle and California.
Is it just because the West Coast is the most easily accessible, I assume?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's where they originally got their start. And also because, well, the Seattle Metroplex is one of the bigger hubs of trade in the area.
Yeah.
So, of course, they want to send guys there. Gambling is the other big one. Obviously, you have your pachinko machines everywhere.
Uh-huh.
They have the gambling dens as well. Unfortunately, we did touch on the Yakuza prostitutioning ring a little bit on a previous episode when we talked about persona beetles. Remember those?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
As a refresher.
So the Yakuza will do this thing where people that can't pay or have been wronged, or have wronged the local Oyaban and the clan, they can work off your debt. One of the ways that you can do that is you willingly become one of these dolls, basically, that are in their prostitution parlors. What they do is they slot in a persona chip into your data jack or chip slot so that it overwrites your personality, which makes you, generally they have you being very subservient and very willing. Your inhibitions are lowered, obviously, all that fun stuff. But you yourself have no idea what's going on. Your own personality is suppressed during this time.
For how long?
Till somebody takes the chip out.
How long is that normally?
Until you work off your debt.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That's so terrifying.
It's very terrifying.
Oh no.
It's probably one of the worst things I can think of that they do.
It's pretty freaking bad, dude.
Well, beetles are pretty freaking bad, man.
Hell yeah, man. Friends don't let friends beetle. Not even once.
Not even one time.
But apparently for the Yakuza, it's a lot of the times.
Well, they use them for different purposes. They'll use beetles for different purposes. One is they can turn you into one of their dolls and have you work in their prostitution parlors. The other option is also dark, again, where they use a persona filter chip and slot it into you, and you basically become one of their hitmen.
No. Oh no. Oh no. More sleeper agents, man. Oh no, man.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Tasukete, man. That's That sometimes you find a new horror, a new thing to be terrified of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just imagining like a prison sentence where they do a persona chip thing and you're just not in your body for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And you have no recollection of that time as it goes by.
that sounds so messy as far as law goes as well.
There are
No way. There's specific laws.
in law, there are some this is a little tangent. There are some magical prisons. If the offender is so bad, they will force
Ask me,
a
man.
data jack surgery to be implanted so they could chip you with a persona chip. And you just sit in a cell and drool.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty terrifying.
Crime, it don't pay. Magic crime, it don't pay worse.
It don't pay, but less.
Exactly. How do you get recruits for the Yakuza? Well, as you might expect of any traditionalist Japanese organization, the Yakuza maintains strictly defended membership qualifications. First off, foreign barbarians need not apply. If you aren't Japanese, you aren't worthy to shine a yak's shoes as far as the traditionalists are concerned.
Keep in the family or the nation.
Yep, the Yakuza kept to its racial purity policy.
The traditionalists.
Gaijin need not apply, man.
Gaijin need not
Gaijin.
apply.
Yeah, the way you just use the term barbarians without much consequence.
Obviously, this applies to metahumanity as well.
Even more so, I imagine.
Yeah, even Japanese metahumanity. Sorry, no go. The arrogant elitist attitudes are particularly ironic, considering that the Yakuza historically recruited from the lowest elements of Japanese society. So you would think that they would be welcoming to metahumanity as they're being treated as the dregs of their society. But
Yikes.
no, they didn't.
Oh.
However, some North American Gumi, even the traditionalists, have allowed females to join their organization, and a few even have minor positions of power.
Yay, progress.
Sort of, a little bit. Obviously, not all Yakuza are bound by these organizations' traditional prejudices. Today's Yakuza includes a strong reform movement, the so-called New Way. The people who follow the New Way are striving to maintain or revive the old Yakuza traditions of honor and service to the community while cultivating a more modern attitude towards metahumanity and women.
Is that an asterisk or something?
No, that's included.
Okay.
Yes, they believe that it's foolish in the sixth world to be prejudiced to these new people.
Or other people in general.
Mm-hmm. The largest proponent of this new wave movement is an Oyoban that goes by the name Okaido Honjawari.
Was this a name you said earlier?
Yes, he is the new wave movement proponent. He's the big guy right now that's doing the most shakeups with this new wave. In fact, his own Praetorian bodyguard, they're called the Green Serpent Guard.
Ooh, that's dope.
And they are all elves.
Ooh, very cool.
Not only are they all elves, apparently they are also all powerful physical adepts.
Deadliest warriors, for real.
That is pretty sick. I mean, if you're gonna hire bodyguards, yeah, I feel like you got to go with adepts, right? Like that.
Yeah,
I
why
feel
wouldn't
like,
you?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the number one job for adepts in the sixth world is bodyguards or like bouncers.
Very adaptable.
Adaptable, some would say.
And they do.
Yes, they do.
And also, are these elves like elves native to Japan? To Japan?
No,
They're from the tier.
no, they're not even from the tier. They're just elves.
Ooh.
They could be from wherever, because he's he's the new wave opponent. You're an elf, you're a physical adept. Show me what you got. Okay, let's bring you on board.
That is also kind of interesting if you think about like, got to reach the elf quota, you know.
Well, letting meta humanity in general.
Yeah, it's got to start somewhere.
I mean, could you imagine somebody going another route and trying to hire all troll physical adepts as their bodyguards?
Ooh, the guard to end all guards.
Fun choice.
I feel like it would be more effective, to be honest.
Well, would they be as cool?
I think it'd be a little more intimidating, right?
That would definitely be
Way
more
more.
intimidating.
All right. Fun exercise right here. You guys, you're an Oyabon of the Yakuza. Who do you hire as your bodyguards? And are they magic inclined or are they more cybered? Go.
Austin, you got yours?
I would hire all Sheetums.
Oh,
That
good.
is frightening. I feel like everybody in your Yakuza clan wears ghost face masks.
Did I not?
Only masks.
Did I not also mention that I am a master Sheetum in and of myself, and so I hire only Sheetums?
Oh, I knew it. I should have known.
Oh,
That's
my
why you're so
goodness.
friendly.
Step into my parlor.
Said the Sheetum to the me.
Said the Sheetum to the fly.
Exactly. I honestly would pick. It's funny because we just said it, and I'm kind of like, oh, it's funny. They're kind of trying to reach a quota, but for some reason, tactically, Elven adepts make the most sense to me because as outwardly intimidating as trolls are, even if they're adepts, I feel like the agility and guile of an elf could lead them, especially being an adept, to be more flexible, depending on the like whoever they're fighting against, the most flexible.
Yeah.
That's my power gamer idea of it. Also,
Okay.
I would make them wear scary masks.
So my actual answer would be that I would want leprechaun physical adepts as as mine, and their Yakuza back tattoos would all be unicorns.
I thought it was gonna be unicorn with like a pot of gold and a rainbow.
Nope, just a big majestic
Just a single
unicorn.
And they see that we see the opening shot of a movie, a prison tat of a guy with a unicorn tattoo, and nobody messes with him.
Nobody messes with that guy.
Well, see, that way they can always make sure that they have their natural enemy printed on them, so that way they fear no other entity because they're already imprinted with that of their natural enemy.
They carry the weight of their deadliest foe around with them. They fear nothing else. Dang, dude, I'm just imagining leprechauns with like prison tattoos.
With rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't mess with that guy. Who's that?
There's
guy?
a guy named Old Rainbow, and he's the deadliest like assassin or something. Like you fear the leprechaun who lived long enough to tell this tale.
Who's that? You don't mess with Little Green.
Little Green. Oh,
and think about it. You've got like, if you need like, espionage missions or whatever, they've got like a height advantage tactically to them, so it makes them a lot easier to be able to sneak around and do things.
Height advantage in the sense that they're smaller to hit.
Yeah, and see.
Yes, but that also applies to how they see. No,
I mean they have to look up, but everybody's got to look up at some point.
Look, you're clearly missing the biggest tactical advantage in that they can pay off anybody they want with their pot of gold.
It's very true.
Oh no! You know what? My ways have been forever changed.
My Yakuza family would be the richest Yakuza family, just due to the prospect of I have an army of leprechauns.
and you're like your compound. You have to cross a rainbow bridge to get there. You'll find me on the other side of the rainbow.
Our stronghold fortress would be called the Blarney Stone.
Oh my god, it's a big black rock. I'll see you in the battlefield of the Blarney Stone.
I was there 10 years ago in the unicorn killing fields.
Oh my god. Blood everywhere. Unicorns. My own kin. A grizzled war veteran leprechaun.
Their assassination weapon of choice would just be filed up unicorn horns, and they would just use those to carry out
It's
assassination
or
missions.
it's like the gray where he has like two fists instead of broken glass. It's
just
unicorn horns
taped to his hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect nothing less, honly.
I could
You,
take
you
that.
know, you figured out once again you've broken Shadowrun as the deadliest force.
Clearly you would have ties to the mysterious forces.
Just a person walking on a street alone at night that owes me money, and all of a sudden they just hear the distant sounds of a fiddle coming down the alley at them.
And the scariest part too is that the victim will see one assailant, but it's actually three of them in a trench coat.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing more intimidating than three leprechauns in a trench coat.
Yeah, and it's like for every step you take, you hear like three of the cloppity boots, river dancing shoes.
I was gonna say,
River guns your way to hell.
Fear the river dance as it echoes down the alleyway.
Imagining ominous river dancing in a very quiet street.
Dude, the river dance, the river dance is our haka. Before every battle, we just river dance in front of
not saying anything, just river dancing.
Yeah, unblinking.
Oh my gosh. Love
This
it.
is the most intimidating.
How do they do it on AstroTurf?
What would your answer be? Easy.
Well, I don't think I can top that one, but
no one ever can. Well,
I would probably have a mix between a couple fully cybered up guys and some mystic arts. I'd have to go. I definitely think some Oni in the group would be good. And then for the cybered up guys, either trolls or just regular humans. I like the mix. I feel like I'm covering all my bases that way.
It's true.
So when you told us we had to pick one group, you were lying.
I was in fact.
He's the GM. He never has to play by the rules.
You know, you're so right.
Haha, GM Fiat. I can do what I want.
Oh, okay, you're right. Because magic. I don't gotta explain shit.
I'm the mysterious forces.
I knew it.
Also, as one more quick addendum for my leprechaun army, my personal like bodyguard force would all wear like belled shoes, and they would be called the Hell's Bells.
Oh
my god.
And it doesn't matter if you can hear them coming, because they're still going to win.
By then, you're already too late.
Exactly.
If you can hear the bells, you've run out of time.
The bell tolls, it tolls for thee.
Sounds like the bells are calling you back home.
I also love that we said this is for a Yakuza clan, which is traditionally Japanese, and we have just made like an all Irish.
First off, you make it sound like there aren't Japanese leprechauns,
Yeah.
so that's pretty presumptuous of you, Easy, to just make that assumption. And also, you know, what's more new wave than having a Yakuza family comprised entirely of foreigners? You don't get much more new wave than that, man.
No, especially for your leprechaun army. That's pretty new wave.
Leprechaun's a new wave. Get that quote somewhere on a shirt.
Well, you can't also talk about the Yakuza and the Shadows without mentioning something else that I'm sure everybody's super excited about. Ninja.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was gonna say.
Oh, what were you expecting?
No, they can't say it on the
it's
pod.
fine.
Yeah. Come on, no.
What were you gonna say?
This is a safe space.
All right, yeah, it's a safe space. It's gonna be on the internet.
Yep.
But when you're like
forever
thinking of one thing, I was like, hentai. I just want to scream
with the Yakuza.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's not my normal association to the Yakuza, but all right, I'll give it to you.
I continue to learn more and more about myself with every episode of this podcast.
Capital H over here, guys. Capital H.
Capital H. Let me be your senpai. Okay, all right.
Oh
I'm
my
done.
god.
Yep. Tyler's
Done, sorry.
Tyler's hentai legion of Yakuza would be called the butt suckers, as we all know.
Butt sucker samurais unite.
When you hear the ooh woo, you've already been around too
It's
long.
already too late.
They descend from the rafters. God.
You were my senpai, but now you're gonna be my sendai. What? Sen, what? Slice.
Don't mess with us and our magical girl body pillows.
I'll protect you, Hime-chan.
I would imagine that right before they assassinate somebody, they would be like, "It looks like Senpai didn't notice me," and then they slit their throat.
Until it was too late. Oh my god.
Amazing.
You have a physical adept that's your main bodyguard, and you just call him Truck-kun because when he punches somebody, he hits him so hard that he sends him into another world by murdering them.
We call it, his name's Kyle. We call him Kyle.
Kyle. His professional title is Truck-kun.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it for paperwork reasons. Yeah, Isekai was pretty popular in the modern day. People kept trademarking it.
Just for trademark reasons, obviously. Oh, so the ninja do still exist in the sixth world. Most people think of them as the silent stalker in black who uses magical powers to carry out his secret work.
It's a lot less exciting than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot less exciting than
Yeah,
that.
okay, that's fine.
Ninja is actually a loaded word in the shadow
Ooh.
biz, much like samurai. A lot of people use it to describe anyone who wears black and sneaks around a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when like the literal catch-all class is called the street samurai, I feel like it's a pretty parlance term then at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Also, I feel like I guess it wouldn't really make a difference, but like I feel like there would be a connotation that we don't have in terms of modern recognition of Yakuza if a Yakuza in the sixth world were to tell you that they have an otaku on their payroll.
Oh, yeah, because that's a
Oh,
whole
man.
different meaning in the sixth world. Because remember, we have the otaku clans, which are the children that can wirelessly access the Matrix.
They are the future.
Yep. Yeah,
They are indeed the future.
the future of the Matrix, yes.
Yeah, the future is now.
Oh, that's what I mean.
So obviously, the term is kind of a catch-all in the shadow world, like I said. But that doesn't mean that the practice isn't still done. Originally, the stealth of the ninja warriors earned them the name shinobi, and their art became known as shinobi jutsu.
Huh?
Huh?
Nani?
I was waiting for that. We couldn't get through this episode
there's
with at least
no
one
way.
nani.
No way.
In the latter part of the 20th century, ninja began to appear in Japanese and American movies, comic books, and television shows. A lot of this led to people being self-proclaimed masters of the art of invisibility or self-defense or assassination. And they would offer up these secrets in books and tapes and lectures.
Oh no.
Eventually, the ninja fad passed, but the black-clad assassins remained a staple of action movies for years after. And the awakening sparked a renewed interest in magical and esoteric traditions of all kinds, including ninjutsu, and led to a second ninja revival.
They're cool again.
Most of this new generation of ninja, quote, masters who came along during this time were at best honest martial arts teachers trying to recreate a tradition that had been dead for nearly 60 years.
I like to imagine that second wave ninja had a lot of fedoras and checkerboard patterns and played a lot of trombone.
Probably.
Yeah.
This ninja fad also passed as well, during the early awakening. But guess what? It rises yet again in 2023 when the identification of physical adepts raised the possibility that many of the legendary ninja abilities might have been based on real magic.
So you're saying 2023 is the year that my jutsu awakens?
It could be when your jutsu awakens, yes.
Our time is nigh, brethren.
Practice your continue to practice your Naruto running now.
Practice. I've already mastered it. Boom, boom.
Of course, the ninja organization follows the original rankings that were put down in the ninja clans from Japan. You have the 3 ranks, the genin, which are agent level, who go out on missions and do a bulk of the work for the clan.
And then the chunin.
The chunin,
They have to do an exam.
We're functionaries, sort of middle managers of the ninja clans.
And then, hang on, what was the name of the third? Genin?
The top dog
Genin, chunin,
is the
jonin.
Jonin.
Oh! Woo!
That's right. The Genin is the first one. You literally just said that. I'm
the Jonin who
a big
leads
fat
his
phony.
clan.
This is my ninja way, Dr. Bio.
Much like an Oyobon leads his Gumi. So the Jonin is the head honcho.
Okay.
But
where does Hokage fit into this?
But what about the Sanin and the Hokage? Yeah, we didn't talk about the Sanin. The Senin? Is it the Senin?
I don't know. I think it's Sanin. It's all in your pronunciation. Let us know.
Welcome to our Naruto podcast.
Spin-off. Sasuke!
We're going to go through episode by episode, one at a time.
Oh my god.
And we're not skipping the filler. Let's
No.
go.
Woo! I can't sit through those filler episodes, man.
We will, brother. It is our ninja way.
It is our ninja way.
Okay, apparently, according to Narutopedia, yeah, we're here now, guys.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Okay.
Apparently,
it's the
official.
I said 3 things, and here we are.
Yeah. Genin, chunin, and then I've never heard this one, but Tokubetsu Jonin. I guess it's a warrant officer in real world militaries. That's the equivalent. And then Junin, and then Kage.
I see.
What about the setting?
That's what I'm wondering.
Why are they not in there?
I feel like, again, huge tangent, you guys. I feel like
that's what we're doing.
They're their own special brand.
Yeah,
they weren't like a.
No, it's true. I think that they were like exclusive titles that they gave to them because they always referred to them as the 3 legendary Sanin. So I think that is.
I'm looking up. The Sanin are the sages. They're they utilize senjutsu, mastered the art of sage mode.
Yeah,
we're learning a lot today.
Orochimaru definitely did senjutsu. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Boys indeed. Yeah, that's Orochimaru.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh no. Hit that hot button. You'll be happy to know that there is a unique way of organization in the 6th world called the Onido. And these are the followers of the Goblin Way.
Tyler, your time is now.
Our time to rise up. Where my Goblin gang at?
They are a ninja clan that successfully changed to fit the 6th world. The clan is made up of genin, who are all specifically Oni and Japanese dwarf at a variance.
That sounds terrifying.
As well as some trolls and elves. So the Onido are the metahuman ninjas.
They actually have jutsu. Except it's magic.
Yes, it is magic. The recruitment of metahumans may seem atypical for a Japanese organization, but it follows ninja tradition of recruiting from the lowest classes of Japanese society. And in modern Japan at this time, no class is lower than the Oni.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're barely considered citizens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Japan, every time you got me, you lose me.
Mm-hmm. In modern Japan during the Sixth World, Oni are deported to relocation camps and isolated from, quote, normal society.
Are
Nope.
are Oni just trolls that are like specific to Japan, or are they actually like different
Well, remember,
goblins?
they're a different form of orcs.
Of
Remember?
orcs. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, or
From the
they
comet,
have,
right?
yep, from the comet, from the surge, and they have the unique different skin colors that resemble those of the Oni demons from legend.
And luscious flowing white hair. Yep.
Some of them, yeah,
And they have horns.
they do have horns.
And the eyes, the eye part, I was like, that's a specific note.
Their eyes can protrude a little bit more than normal.
That's I feel like that is specifically just them wanting to reference like woodblock paintings.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The traditional Oni.
But that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's what I mean is like explaining these terms in a matter of fact way is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the Oni that are part of this ninja clan 100% play up their disturbing visage and play into that demon archetype from legend.
Hell yeah, dude. Work with what you got.
They just decide to own it, basically.
That's awesome. You know, that's inspiring.
Their resemblance to traditional Japanese demons enhances the fear that they cause in their targets. Who knew?
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
figure, right?
Right? And of course, in this modern era, how can you have organized crime that doesn't work closely with your good old legal organized crime units? I mean, corporations.
How dare you? I call them pillars of modern society.
Oh, yes. They're the standard.
Yeah, you would, Tyler. You would.
Hell yeah.
The Yakuza do work closely with Japanese corporations, especially in San Francisco, where the local Gumi and Japanacorps jointly rule the city. However, that does change a little bit in 2062 when the new child emperor, orders all invading forces back, and General Saito says, nah.
I'm good.
Some of the Yakuza Oyabans heed the call and return home, which further creates the disconnect between the traditionalists and the new way. For most part, corps do not interfere in Yakuza activity as long as Gumi operate within guidelines set by the Corps. And in some cases, the corps may even provide the Gumi with covert assistance when dealing with local law enforcement. Extraterritoriality for these Japanacorps helps the Yakuza leaps and bounds.
I can imagine.
Because any illegal activity that comes up, you can send a corporate representative going, oh no, this is corp business. Go away now.
I love that.
The trade-off is that the local Gumi provide valuable shadow resources for the Japana corporations. These relationships between individual corps and Gumi vary from one corp to another. For example, Mitsuhama maintains close ties with several major Gumi in North America and Japan. Fuchi, who no longer exists, but at the time, they tended to ignore the Yakuza, preferring not to deal with them.
Poor choice.
Renraku and Yamatetsu fall somewhere in the middle. They keep a fairly tight lid on the local Gumi, but make use of them as the need arises. So there you go. Renraku, not so bad, right? They kind of utilize the Yakuza, but they try to remain hands-off.
That's what I've been saying since day one.
They're my peeps. They know. So what do you guys think about the Yakuza in the Sixth World?
I mean, it kind of just sounds a lot like the Yakuza that we have.
There's honestly not a whole lot of change.
Yeah, it's
what we currently have in present day versus what's portrayed in the Sixth World. The only major differences is whether you are in favor of meta humanity or whether you shun it.
Yeah.
So you can be traditionalist Japanese or new wave. I am definitely on the side of new wave.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy. Well, but also, I mean, I feel like that's an easy one as well, though, because like I feel like if you're in favor of the old ways, then by default that also means that you are probably an imperialist, and that's not good.
Mm.
Nobody wants that.
You know, all these foreigners, they're not Daijobu.
Well, maybe the cost. Maybe our cost representative does want that. I guess I shouldn't speak so gradually there.
You need to all get back behind that wall. I guess one of the things that you'd have to contend with there would be the new child emperor in 2062 and resending the issue about banishing meta-humanity to Yomi Island. I got to think as a traditionalist and imperialist, a lot of them are not happy.
Yeah, that they probably not favorited on that one. But I'd imagine that like that child emperor probably has a lot bigger things to deal with than having to worry about Yakuza issues. I mean, he's got nap time. He's got cheese stick snackies at 2.
Yummy.
Like
He's got hair growing in weird places.
yeah, he's got a lot already on his plate.
Yeah, he has an older half brother that's currently running the country for him until he comes of age.
What's his older half
What a
brother,
guy.
like 14?
No, his older half brother is like in his late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, okay. So he's like an actual adult.
Yes.
That's fair.
But he's technically keeping things together for him until he comes of age. And the only reason they named this new child emperor is because of what happened during the comet with the volcanic eruptions and typhoons and tidal waves. The old imperial family was kind of wiped out.
So he's like literally the only one left.
Yeah, he's kind of the only one left.
That's you know what, you make do, you know.
Yeah. So you clearly have the new order or the new wave of Yakuza thinking supporting him, and the traditionalists are kind of making waves.
So are there any like known connectivity between any of the dragons and the different Yakuza organizations, or is that not like
There's rumor that Ryumio
Mhm.
has dealings with the Yakuza,
Okay.
but there's no concrete proof, and he could just be using them as he sees fit.
Right. Like as dragons often want to do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The triads are the ones that definitely have the more concrete connection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You have the Red Dragon Lung that runs the Red Dragon Triad.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I was trying to remember. I was like, I'm pretty sure that one of the triads is literally just run by a dragon. So
Yes, it is.
yeah, okay, yeah. A little bit more open on that end than the Yakuza have been.
Exactly. Not as discreet as they would want to be, or as Ryumio is in dealing with the Yakuza.
Makes sense.
But he's the only dragon I can think of offhand that deals with them.
Okay.
But also, you have to think too, traditionalists, would they really accept working for a dragon if they found out? Because that's not a human.
That's true.
So,
I bet you that they want to.
I wonder how they would look at that.
I bet you that they want to see Ryumio's documentation before they allow him.
Yeah.
I need Ryumio's birth certificate, please. It's an important business.
Please supply me with your tax returns to prove that you're a Japanese citizen.
I need at least 3 pieces of mail with a verified Japanese address.
Exactly.
Tyler,
Oh,
any thoughts on Yakuza?
You know, they're kind of they're kind of interesting, honestly. Seeing that they seem a lot more active in the community than they would be circa, previous century,
Mhm.
centuries, and seeing that there's like a more, I'm just going to use the term progressive view of
Mhm.
things, because they'd be missing out on a lot of cool metahumans, a lot of cool peeps in general.
Well, magic too, you know.
Yeah, that as well. And you can get, they open themselves up to having that leprechaun task force.
The leprechaun army.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that again, that is one thing that separates the new wave from the traditionalist is also the acceptance of magic, and I got to think in the long run that's going to beat out the traditionalists.
Well, no doubt.
You have no defense against magic.
What if all of the traditionalists are just Sheetums and we don't know?
That is
All of
absolutely
them?
terrifying.
All
That's
of them.
terrifying.
Every single one of them.
And then
That's a lot.
yeah. And then like the head of the main traditionalist family is the Master Sheetum. It's all coming together.
I mean, if that was true, that would be a bigger Shiitum populace than is what is being formed in the new Islamic Jihad.
Did one of the Oyabans die during the year of the comet, and then a couple days later they came back and they were suddenly like, "Hey, yo, so the foreigners gotta go."
Bring all foreigners into my secret dark room.
Well, we don't.
Oh no,
we don't know that didn't happen. Maybe one of the Oyabans died, but nobody knew he was dead, and the Master Sheetum was already there, just waiting.
I'm
I'm
not
starting to notice a correlation between the Master Sheetum and the mysterious forces. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
They're secretly holding a nuke in some pocket dimension.
Oh, a nuke, a meteor. What was the other one? Probably a dragon. I don't know.
Definitely some assassination forces.
Yeah, exactly. There's just a horde of leprechaun ninjas.
Now, are the leprechaun ninjas shrouded in green?
Whoa, I didn't say that they were ninjas. I said that they were adepts.
I'm saying they're ninjas.
Look, I'm just saying, if you had
we could get ninjas.
Yeah, if you had leprechaun ninjas, would they be shrouded in green?
Well, if they were like actual like ninjas for like clandestine operation scenarios, maybe like a forest green or like a hunter green. Like just a little bit of accent work on the edges there, just so it's not all black. I mean, that's boring, That's we've been there, done that with our ninjas. Thank you very much.
My follow-up to that is through their magic, could they summon the dragon sword?
I mean, just because we've never had any Irish Power Rangers doesn't mean we couldn't start.
Some things are meant to be left sacred. Also, I was starting to think the opposite when it comes to like my ninja leprechaun task force. They would be bright jade green, like almost lime green, because they're already so loud with their little jingly bells, and they're so loud with their color and how much they stand out, but it doesn't matter because you will not be able to stand up against the green tide.
Oh my god.
Blarney tide.
I feel like they throw gold-plated ninja stars.
Oh my god. It's just a gold coin.
A sharpened gold coin.
No, it's a gold coin, and they're just so deadly that they turn like a normal gold coin into a projectile.
Oh jeez.
Ancient leprechaun arts, dude.
Well, if they're physical adepts, they could just increase their arm strength, so they could just throw a coin into you without needing to be sharpened at all. So,
exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just firing gold coin bullets.
Just throw. It's like the end of First Class. Just throw a coin through someone's brain. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I'm going to move the coin now.
Oh.
The last thing you want to hear a leprechaun ninja tell you. I'm going to move the coin now.
No, that is the last thing that a leprechaun ninja tells you.
You don't even realize that the blue and the gold coin went in your brain.
Oh man, what a lovely tangent that we've had.
Tangent.
Ninja leprechauns. Somehow, some way, one day I have to work that into Sinless and just cause you to just have this wave of fear go over you.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Here they come. You round the corner and you hear the slight jingling of bells.
You hear river dancing.
You also hear river dance music.
What is that, Danny Boy in the distance? I don't
A
understand.
strange fiddle permeates the atmosphere.
Oh man.
And then, in that moment, you see the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. A rainbow in the dead of night.
It's like a rainbow in the dark.
That blur of green and bright orange beard.
It's time for the end of your rainbow, laddie.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You guys, let us know what you think about the Yakuza underworld. Are you new wave? Are you traditionalist? Are you pro leprechaun ninja army? Or who are you having as your bodyguard setups, being the head honcho of your own Yakuza clan? These are all important questions that we need.
Who
the
will keep you
answers
safe
to.
from the mysterious forces?
Who better to keep you safe from the mysterious forces than hardened leprechaun ninjas with unicorn body
I'm just saying,
tattoos on their back?
I'm excited to hear the community if they have any preferences of like, actually, I would want some mermaids or something, you know. Why not?
Sure, why not? You know, all bets are off. Let's hear what you got.
Let's do it.
This has been fantastic. I hope you guys have a newfound respect for the Yakuza in the Sixth World and how they just want to, just want to build communities, community building. That's what it is in the long run. I hope everyone has a fantastic evening. Thank you for hanging out with us once again for some more Shadowrun lore, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Ajobu.
The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. is granted permission to Critical Hits to use such names, logos, artwork, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Critical Hits in any official capacity whatsoever.